In the year 1517, the world of biblical scholarship was turned upside down with the publication of the Bomberg Bible in Venice. This was no ordinary Bible. It was a rabbinical Bible, containing not only the Hebrew text, but also extensive rabbinic commentary. The man behind this monumental work was Daniel Bomberg, a Christian printer from Flanders. Despite his Christian background, Bomberg's Bible became a vital resource for both Jews and the rising generation of Christian Hebraists. This groundbreaking publication marked the beginning of a new era in biblical studies, one that would challenge traditional interpretations and open the door to a more critical and nuanced understanding of sacred texts. The Bomberg Bible was not the only significant work of the time. Around the same period, the Complutensian Polyglot was being printed in Alcalá, Spain. This polyglot Bible, published in 1522, presented the Latin Vulgate, the Septuagint, the Greek version of the Old Testament, and the Hebrew text in a single volume, with marginal notes that identified the roots of Hebrew words. The Complutensian Polyglot was a remarkable achievement, offering scholars a comprehensive tool for comparative study. However, the Latin text was placed at the center of the page, reflecting the Christian bias of the time. Despite this, the polyglot was a crucial contribution to biblical scholarship, providing a foundation for future research. The early 16th century was also a time of significant developments in the study of the New Testament. In 1516, Erasmus of Rotterdam published his Greek New Testament, which caused considerable controversy. Erasmus's work was groundbreaking because it challenged the authority of the Latin Vulgate, the official Bible of the Catholic Church. His critical approach to the text, which involved comparing different manuscripts, led to the discovery of discrepancies and errors in the Latin version. One of the most contentious issues was the Johannine comma in 1 John chapter 5, verses 7, a passage that explicitly referred to the Trinity. Erasmus, recognizing that this passage was not present in early Greek manuscripts, initially omitted it from his edition. However, he later reinstated it in the third edition of his New Testament in 1522, after discovering a manuscript in Dublin that contained it. This decision was influenced by the pressure from those who believed the Latin Vulgate to be the authoritative text. The work of Erasmus and others laid the foundation for the Reformation, which was not just a religious movement, but also a literary and scholarly one. The availability of printed Bibles, particularly in vernacular languages, played a crucial role in the spread of Reformation ideas. Martin Luther's Bible, published in 1534, was a particularly significant example. Luther's translation, which was eventually published in 100 editions by the press in Wittenberg, made the Bible accessible to a broader audience. The Reformers encouraged laypeople to read and interpret the Bible for themselves, a practice that was not common in the late medieval church. This shift in access and interpretation had far-reaching consequences, leading to a more critical and individualized approach to biblical texts. The Reformation, however, was not the end of the evolution of biblical scholarship. The Enlightenment, which began in the late 17th century, brought a new wave of critical thinking to the study of the Bible. One of the most influential figures of this period was Baruch Spinoza, a Dutch philosopher of Portuguese Jewish descent. Spinoza's work, particularly his theological political treatise, published in 1670, challenged traditional views of the Bible's authorship and the reality of biblical miracles. Spinoza argued that the Pentateuch, traditionally attributed to Moses, was actually compiled by Ezra, a priest and scribe who lived several centuries after Moses. He also suggested that many biblical miracles, such as the sun standing still in Joshua 10, could be explained by natural phenomena rather than divine intervention. Spinoza's ideas were revolutionary and controversial, but they paved the way for modern biblical scholarship. The Enlightenment also saw the emergence of deism, a belief that God exists but does not intervene in the natural world. Philosophers like David Hume and Matthew Tyndall challenged the notion of miracles and the divine inspiration of the Bible. These ideas were not new, but the Enlightenment provided a platform for them to be discussed openly and critically. The impact of the Enlightenment on biblical scholarship was profound, leading to a more historical and critical approach to the study of the Bible. Scholars began to examine the texts in their historical contexts, considering issues such as authorship, dating, and the transmission of the texts. In the 19th and 20th centuries, biblical scholarship continued to evolve. The discovery of ancient manuscripts, such as the Dead Sea Scrolls, provided new insights into the development of the biblical texts. The rise of higher criticism, which involved the critical analysis of the sources and composition of the biblical texts, challenged traditional interpretations and led to new understandings of the Bible. Scholars like Julius Wellhausen, who developed the documentary hypothesis, argued that the Pentateuch was composed from multiple sources, each with its own theological perspective. This hypothesis, while controversial, has been influential in biblical studies. The 20th century also saw the development of new methodologies in biblical scholarship, such as form criticism, redaction criticism, and literary criticism. These approaches focused on the literary and rhetorical aspects of the texts, as well as the social and historical contexts in which they were written. The rise of feminist and postcolonial biblical scholarship further expanded the field, bringing new perspectives and raising questions about the power dynamics and social structures reflected in the texts. In conclusion, the study of the Bible has come a long way since the publication of the Bomberg Bible in 1517. From the critical work of Erasmus and the Reformation to the philosophical challenges of the Enlightenment and the methodological innovations of the modern era, biblical scholarship has continually evolved. Each era has brought new insights and challenges, shaping our understanding of these sacred texts. The journey of biblical scholarship is a testament to the enduring power of the Bible and the human quest for knowledge and understanding.